maybe look straight today. We don't have TV3, no TV1, because they're all full of shit. They hate Māori and other brown people. There, I said it. You can piss off, Steve. Their angle in this genocide is to paint the Israeli colonial settler as the hero, as they have for decades, while the brown boy throwing a rock is the evil terrorist. One of the frustrations that we've been seeing is the blatant attempts, not only the New Zealand media, but specifically the Western media, trying to convince us that this genocide is justified. The manipulation and lies are used to manufacture the consent to give public license to the senseless killing of innocent civilians. Worst of all, the senseless killings of a population made up mostly of children. I'd love to see what their narrative would look like if they were on the ground in Gaza. See for themselves what the truth is. But they won't, because along with these Israeli hostages, they will be subject to carpet bombing. I mean, make that make sense for me. The IOF don't know where the hostages are, but they bomb everywhere. Smells pretty fishy to me. And I'm on to you, Mr. Media Man. I'm sure we've all heard it on TV by these absolute idiotic presenters. Do you condemn Hamas? Framing the conversation in a way that justifies any heavy-handed tactic of response that the Israeli colonial apartheid government does. We've heard stuff like, Israel has the right to defend itself. From who? A 5-year-old boy on his way to school? From who? A defenseless man doing a morning prayer in a mosque? From who? A premature baby in an incubator? It's true. Israel has the right to defend itself. But this barbaric strategy of defense was used to wipe out millions of people throughout the Middle East and Afghanistan by the murderous United States after 9/11 in the name of defense. Just call all the brown people terrorists. Hell, Tommy Eti gotta go. But just call them terrorists and killing everyone, including their kids, is all good, eh? We've heard these moronic Zionist bumboy presenters squabble over what is a proportionate response to the October 7th attack. What they're really saying is how much value does a poverty-stricken brown person have compared to a middle-class white person from South Africa or New York City that travelled and moved to Tel Aviv and is now claiming to be indigenous in that space. That's what they're saying. What's their value? So I'm also sure we've heard the media frame it as an Israel-Hamas war, but where are the Hamas tanks? Where are the Hamas fighter jets? Where are the Hamas soldiers? The truth is, there is none. Let's go back to the 7th of October. The Western media went on a rampage, calling it the worst terrorist attack since 9/11. I mean, of course, the USA would purposely forget about the 1 million Iraqi civilians that were murdered from 2004, which by their own admission was a mistake.
Oh.
But anyway, they say it was the worst terrorist attack since 9/11. 1,400 Israeli settlers killed by Hamas. What originally started at 50 grew to 100. Oh, that's not going to be enough. Which suddenly grew to 1,400, which was suddenly revised down to 1,200. And the Western media just ran with that, with no confirmed reports putting on anyone siding with Palestine, either an anti-Semite, a Hamas terrorist sympathizer, or making them condemn Hamas in TV interviews with Zionist news presenters. They are so full of shit. And I want to keep this straight. On October 7th, we're supposed to believe that hundreds of young Palestinian men with makeshift weapons and rifles bulldozed through or paraglided over one of the most technically advanced super wall constructed by one of the most well-funded militaries in the world. A place where they don't have appropriate access to water. And as what Israeli officials said themselves, the civilians are living on a diet of starvation. We're supposed to believe there was an advanced military Hamas operation under Al-Shifa hospital, and we were shown the evidence of it. They say there is a list of terrorists working for Hamas when there was really a calendar detailing the days of the month. Embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them. We're supposed to believe that the IOF is innocent in the October 7th attack when video evidence shows them murdering their own Israeli settlers with bombs. If you want an omelette or you want Gaza, you've got to crack a few eggs, right? You mean to say that we're supposed to believe that the Israeli occupation force knew about Hamas traveling through ambulances when they can't even detect a bunch of people on paragliders? All of a sudden, they've got X-ray vision. I ain't believing anything they're saying. Why? Because they're full of shit. Yeah. The Western media deliberately pushing the Zionist agenda with fake outrage over 40 beheaded Jewish babies. They're still running with that story, despite even the president redacting on it. Fake outrage over pregnant women burnt to a crisp. Fake outrage over grandmothers being cold-bloodedly murdered. All of these are fake news and have been debunked. The lies of the Western media are proving time and time again that they are pathological liars willing to say and do anything to pull the wool over our eyes. But they won't pull the wool over our eyes. Why? Because they're full of shit. The selective and fake outrage is Karen-esque. Where is the outrage from the mainstream media for 39 premature babies that had to be taken off incubators that don't have water, food, or power for the oxygen? Where is the outrage from the mainstream Western media for when a children's hospital was bombed? Where is the outrage for the 200 people that were bombed at the Alpha Quarter School, which was housing displaced people from the Jabalia refugee camp in North Gaza just yesterday? Where is the outrage from Benjamin Netanyahu that says they will be permanently taking over Gaza after the Gazawi people have been pushed into the Sinai?
You can have it.
Where is the outrage? I'll tell you where it is. Nowhere.
Thank you.
Why? Because they're full of shit. They support genocide, they support the illegal colonial apartheid state, they support the ethnic cleansing of indigenous people, and they're just a bunch of white supremacists. The real terrorists are the Israeli apartheid government goons. The real terrorists are the bipartisan US Senate. The real terrorists are the Gestapo-like Israeli occupation force. They're not only terrorists, they're cowards. And Benjamin Netanyahu, you're a bitch. So let's set that record straight. They are losing the war on information because we are seeing the horrors that are happening in Gaza from the people on the ground. We are seeing it from brave young heroes such as Bisan, Motaz, Biplestia, and a few other courageous truth seekers. These are the real heroes that are risking their lives every single day to bring you the truth. These silent celebrities, these silent social media influencers, these ignorant politicians, these false idols are full of shit too. And I'm glad that if anything, we're able to see who's in it for the kaupapa and who's in it for the money. Our job from this side of the world is to amplify Palestinian voices on the ground and social media so that the world sees the truth. Our job is to boycott, seek divestment in Israeli goods and services, and push our government to sanction the illegal settler colony of Israel. Our job is to write our MPs to take a stand and stop being so gutless. Our job is to educate, agitate, and organise. Our job is to continue showing up every week until we have a ceasefire. Flood the feed, change the hearts and minds of people, and stand for the true and rightful people of Palestine.
Amen.
And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you doing one or more of these things and showing up today despite the weather. Today, as like last week, we, the organisers of the rally, have a list of demands. We are demanding a more transparent media that's not full of shit. We are demanding a less gutless government. We are demanding more action. We are demanding a stop to this destruction. We are demanding a stop to this genocide. We are demanding a ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. We will not stop showing up until we have justice for Gaza, justice for the West Bank, justice for Palestine. Ka whawhai tonu mātou. Ake. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Tēnā tātou katoa.